Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Ivana Zalfardelia, a psychology student at Muhammadiyah University of Surakarta. Here, we're gonna discuss about cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? So, from a psychological perspective, cyberbullying is part of bullying. But if we look from a legal point of view, cyberbullying is a crime committed deliberately in the form of slander, ridicule, threats, and insults. This form of crimes stems from behavior degrading and intimidating others through cyberspace. The goal is for the target to experience psychological disorders. This new bullying model is even more dangerous because it can be done by anyone, anytime, and anywhere. There are characteristics of cyberbullying. First, no physical violence. Second, between the perpetrator and the victim involves very little physical contact, or we can say minimize of physical contact. Third, utilizing certain technology and equipment. And the last is utilizing telecommunications, media, and information technology networks globally. There are types of cyberbullying. So, cyberbullying is not only one type. It is divided into 6 types, and there are flaming, harassing, denigration, cyberstalking, impersonation, outing, and trickery. First, what is flaming? So, flaming is one person's action, send text messages containing frontal and angry words. In general, flaming acts in the form of provocation, insult, ridicule, so that it offends others. Here are some illustrations of flaming. Next, harassment. So, what is harassment? Harassment is the act of a person sending messages of distraction via SMS, email, social network text with persistent intensity. Harassment perpetrators often write comments against them with the aim of causing anxiety. Apart from that, harassment also contains sedition words so that others do the same. Here are some illustrations about harassment. Next, there is denigration. What is denigration? So, denigration is that actions are carried out deliberately and consciously, indulging others through the internet, until finally damaging the good name and reputation of the person being talked about on these social networks. Next, we got cyberstalking. What is cyberstalking? Cyberstalking is intense acts of spying, harassing, and defaming someone. As a result, people who are victims feel great fear and depression. Here are some illustrations of cyberstalking. Next, we get impersonation. What is impersonation? Impersonation is the act of pretending or posing as someone else to launch the action, sends messages, and statuses. This usually happens on social networks like Instagram and Twitter using fake accounts. And the last, we got outing and trickery. So what is outing and trickery? Outing is the act of spreading other people's secret. Outing are personal photos of someone who, after being shared, cause embarrassment and depression. Meanwhile, trickery is in the form of trickery by persuading other people to obtain confidential or personal photo of potential victims. In many cases, others usually do trickery. Cyberbullying also have impacts. So Here are some impacts of cyberbullying. First, withdrawing from the social environment. Second, feelings of environmental ostracism. Third, disturbed physical and mental health. And the last is depression and suicide. So after this, I'm gonna show you a short video about this explanation about the impacts of cyberbullying and for the illustration about the impacts. Here are some impacts of cyberbullying. First, withdrawing from the social environment. The psychological condition of the victim tends to experience anxiety and fear. They do not hesitate to withdraw from the social environment. For example, there are many cases of bullying on social networks experienced by school children. Finally, it makes the child depressed, isolate himself because of shame, and choose to drop out from the school. Second, feeling of environmental ostracism. Cyberbullying does occur via the internet or social networks. However, people who were in the real environment around the victim could see it. Moreover, various malicious comments aim the victims. This makes people around them also attack victims in their real life. Finally, victims of cyberbullying are ostracized by a society and receive unpleasant treatment. Third, disturbed physical and mental health. Bullying that is carried out continuously through social networks by known and unknown people will bring stress. In the end, feelings of harboring depression, anxiety, and loss of self-confidence lead to post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. Of course, the effects of PTSD do not know age. Even in adults, the effect of immune system stimuli are compromised. And the last is depression and suicide. Victims of cyberbullying often feel angry, afraid, hurt, helpless, embarrassed, hopeless, and isolated. If this condition occurs repeatedly and gets worse, it will cause a feeling of wanting to end his life. You have watched a short explanation about the impacts of cyberbullying, so I'm gonna tell you how to prevent cyberbullying. First, don't post too often or too much. Second, avoid strange post content. Third, be smart in choosing friends on social media. And the last is not telling stories on social media carelessly. Let's stop bullying, because no one deserves to feel worthless. Pulling someone down will never help you reach the top. Respect people's feeling. Even if it doesn't mean anything to you, it could mean everything to them. So that's all from me. That's all for our discussion. Thank you for watching and goodbye.